Poggle the Lesser hands the Death Star plans to Count Dooku, and he takes a look at them, and a thought comes to his mind. If I could make such weapons of mass destruction on my own, I could be the ruler of the galaxy, he says out loud. He stands alone as if he'd said it to himself in a seemingly empty hall while he walks through it, contemplating the plans. Yeah, I think you will, Dooku, says a mysterious figure in the back. Who's there? Dooku asks, whirling around, his force sensitivity seemingly off. There, standing before him, emerging from the shadows, is none other than Elon Musk with a small smile on his face and a large Yislamari on his shoulders. I am Dooku. Hey, how's it going? Have you ever wondered what would have happened if Elon Musk had been in Star Wars? Well, if you have, then you're in for a treat, because today, Bantha Stew fans, this is what if Elon Musk had built the Death Star. Elon Musk, a wealthy Coruscanti entrepreneur who has started many companies revolving around technology and hyperfuelist spaceships, has an incredible impact on the pop culture of the galaxy. His strange ideas, unique brands, and dedication to beating the Trade Federation in a race to colonize the stars appeals to many, and he somehow manages to gain an incredible amount of support from working class and holo crypto finance daddies money's bros alike. He frequently makes strange comments on holo Twitter, and he's incredibly against the new regulations of free speech being imposed by the Republic. He's also critical of Chancellor Valorum's new taxes on trade lanes and megacorporations, saying that they're bad for business all around. He even makes radical and controversial statements about the blockade of Naboo, saying that he supported the Trade Federation's exercise of corporate autonomy and political protest of government oversteps. Because of these radical opinions, he earns the eye of Count Dooku when he's trying to start an early separatist movement. He sees Musk's hot takes about the Republic, and he believes that the trillionaire could be an effective asset to have in the Confederacy that he was assembling. So he reaches out and extends the offer to him for a corporate meeting on Geonosis. One day, as Musk is about to launch one of his speeders into space from Corellia as a company marketing promo, he receives a call from the Count of Sereno. Intrigued, Musk picks up. "Hello, Count. To what do I owe this pleasure?" he asks. "Ah, Mr. Musk, it's good to see you, my friend. I have, let's call it," Dooku pauses for a moment, "a business proposal for you," he says. "Oh? And what might that be?" Elon asks, his curiosity piqued. "Let's just say it's a little bit of a hushed investment opportunity at the moment. I've invited many wealthy patrons to Geonosis for a meeting to discuss it. Would you be interested?" Dooku states, smirking slightly. Musk couldn't pass up on his curiosity. Geonosis was a peculiar planet for which to host an investment meeting, but he would bite the bullet. "You know me, Count. I can't pass up on a good business opportunity," he replies, smiling. Elon ends up making the journey to Geonosis in his sleek Tesla Starship, powered by no-pollution hyperfuel. He had recently become disenfranchised by the Republic regulations on his companies, so when Dooku asks for the corporate council's support in signing the treaty, he is 100% in favor. "I'm so down for this," he says, signing his name immediately. Musk believes in the free market ideas of the Confederacy and that they would be better for business. He also believes that they would make him a little bit wealthier. His obsession with technological advancement for the betterment of the galaxy bleeds through as well, and he's thinking about the innovative thought process of Dooku's Confederacy and how it will be a healthier groundwork for policies that encourage technological growth. Following the signing of the treaty, Musk is in attendance for the attempted execution of Kenobi, Anakin, and Padme. He takes a photo and simply tweets, "Jedi execution today. Kind of fun." On his most recent acquisition, Holo X, he's forced to scramble when the clones land with Yoda, and he ends up in the Situation Room with the other Separatist leaders. At the end of the Battle of Geonosis, Poggle the Lesser gives him the plans for the Death Star to hand off to Dooku, as the Count is already in hot pursuit by the Jedi, and Poggle must stay with his people. Elon is tasked with keeping the blueprints secret. Poggle trusts him as a member of the corporate council. "Thanks, Poggle. I'll get these to the Count ASAP," Musk states, nodding his head. However, Elon secretly has other plans. Musk, seeking profit and technological advancement over all else, knows that he could become one of the wealthiest men in the galaxy if he started building this superweapon. With its power, he could simultaneously control the weapons market while also forcing systems into submission if they refuse to do business with him. He also believes that building a space station of this size would be huge progress for the technological advancement of the galaxy, and it would open up many new doors for his company, especially in terms of colonizing space and beating the Trade Federation. So, before he hands the secret plans to Dooku, he copies them onto his own personal datapad, and he sends them to his secretary on Corellia to be inputted into company files. Then, after he races to his residence on Coruscant, Elon takes a breath of fresh air, finally feeling safe. He reaches out to Dooku on a secure holo channel and tells him about the plans. "I will send you the coordinates to the industrial sector. We shall conduct the handover there," Dooku replies. "Good work, Elon. You will be a valuable member of the separatist cause." Elon smiles. "Yeah, Dooku. I look forward to working with you as well," he says. When Elon arrives on Coruscant, he's greeted in a dark hangar by Dooku and another oddly familiar hooded man. However, Elon can't place where he recognizes the other man from, especially since his face is concealed by a hood. Something seems off about this place, and Elon gets shivers down his spine when he disembarks from his transport vessel. "Hello, Elon. Do you have the plans?" Dooku asks, dispensing with his normal pleasantries. "Yep, I've got 'em right here," Elon replies. He pulls a small projector from his pocket and hands it to Dooku, who gingerly accepts this offering. "Thank you, Mr. Musk. I will contact you shortly regarding funding and your future within our war efforts." "You're dismissed," Dooku says, nodding curtly. Elon frowns slightly, looking at the hooded man before he leaves. "My name's Elon Musk. I'm the CEO of SpaceX, Tesla, HoloX, and many other successful corporations. I love what you're doing with this whole separatist thing. It's pretty neat, really," he says, reaching out to shake the mysterious figure's hand. He's embraced by a cold, spine-tingling grip that sends shivers down Elon's body. "You can call me Sidious," the man replies in a raspy growl of a voice. Elon lets go, looking at his hand. The presence of this man was unlike anything he'd ever felt before. He's shocked. Darkness seemed to loom around him, and Elon is surprised that Dooku is unaffected. However, Elon doesn't think much of it as he boards his starship and returns to his company headquarters on Corellia, ready to take some serious bank from this war, and from constructing this miraculous space station. For Elon Musk, this was where the fun begins. As Elon builds his machine in the shadows, the Clone Wars continue to rage on. All of Musk's companies end up growing in value significantly after the war begins, especially when he begins to manufacture weapons under the Tesla brand. They're sleek, shiny, and easy for the Separatists to use with their battle droids. He also has a personal army of security droids that he's been developing over the years, so he donates many of them to the Confederacy free of charge. Due to the combined profits of his personal fortune and those of his corporations during the war from his starship manufacturing business on Corellia, he had little difficulty funding his project. Because Elon Musk's companies are based on Corellia, which is technically represented by the Republic, there are many assassination attempts on him as well. He's a high priority target of the Clone Commandos and the Republic Special Ops. However, because of his own connections within the Republic and due to massive corporate influence, Musk is able to retreat to worlds that are within separatist space when necessary. He's always safe no matter where he is, and his personal fortune and corporate success provide massive benefits to the Confederacy. One day, as Elon is speaking with Sandhill on Munist regarding matters of personal business and separatist interests, he notices that the esteemed banker accidentally makes a mistake and leaves the access information for the separatist war coffers lying next to the CEO when he has to depart momentarily to deal with some urgent banking clan business. When Sandhill is gone, Elon comes up with a genius idea. He seizes Hill's datapad and transfers the contents of it over to his own. Just before Sandhill returns to the room, Musk places the datapad subtly back on the desk where it had been before and grabs his glass of high-valued Bantha Brew whiskey, a personal favorite of his. Sandhill notices that the datapad is slightly out of place from where it had been before, and he looks suspiciously at Elon. I could have sworn that I had placed the datapad slightly to the right, he muses. Elon just shrugs. Maybe you're remembering wrong, he states calmly. We Munes don't forget the small details. It's how we built our banking empire, Sandhill responds. Elon continues to stare at him. Everybody makes mistakes, he says. Sandhill can't prove anything, but he would watch his accounts with renewed interest in the coming weeks. On Elon's way back to Corellia, he begins to doodle some possible designs for his space station superweapons. He believes that with the right tweaks to the original plans, they can be even more spectacular. At the end of the day, he doodles many sleek silver balls onto his holopad, and he's very impressed with himself. As his ship lands, he chews his pen, wondering what he would call the weapons. Speaking of silver balls, I just have a quick story for you guys. So my home city in Canada, for some reason, it's got about 1 million people now, but one of the mayors back when I was a kid decided that it would be an excellent artistic expression to just build a pile of silver balls next to the bridge as public art. It looks ridiculous. Everybody thinks that they look so stupid, but it's an iconic part of our city now, and we all just laugh about it. I actually have a picture of me standing next to the silver balls when I was probably about 16 years old during COVID, and it's a hilarious photo. I just think that that's a funny story, and this little kind of tangent about Elon Musk drawing his silver balls took me back to that. So anyway, we'll get back to the story. Does your town or city have any strange artistic expressions that they present to the public? Let me know down in the comments. Anyway, back to the story now. As his ship lands, he chews on his pen, wondering what he should call his superweapons. Then, suddenly, it clicks. Aha! Elon cries, realizing what the name of his new creation would be. At the top of his page, he writes the word Cyberstar, underlining it multiple times. Elon knows that with the combined funds of his companies, his personal fortune, and the sneaky bits that he now had access to from the Separatist War Fund, he would have an achievable goal to realize. Soon, Elon would be the most powerful man in the entire galaxy. As the war continues, Elon keeps inciting fights between Republic and Separatist politicians on HoloX, even going so far as to say that Newt Gunray and Padme Amidala should have a boxing match to settle their differences publicly, and that he'd bet money on Gunray. He's also an incredibly effective propaganda tool for the Separatists. Count Dooku, knowing that Elon is incredibly popular in the media, organizes various media engagements that will showcase his unique and strange personality. One of these that shocks the entire galaxy is when Elon goes on a podcast with the beloved podcaster Joe Rogan, who's set up on his home base on the neutral world of Mandalore. He hosts people from all sides of the political spectrum on his show, eager to showcase many perspectives on the war, along with his dedication to just being a guy that listens. When he announced that Elon would make an appearance on his show, the galaxy waited in eager anticipation. Supporters and opponents of Musk alike know that this will be an interview worth watching. They're certainly correct. When Joe Rogan pulled out a container of spice and offered to smoke it with Elon live on the air, Elon is totally in favor. They roll a joint together and ignite it, and Elon's tongue becomes loose. Yeah, man, these separatists are totally in favor of the free market, he says. Oh yeah? I'm surprised that across the old Count who runs the show is okay that you're smoking spice with me, Rogan laughs. Elon takes another puff. Oh yeah, Dooku? He's actually super chill, man. The separatist parliament is way cooler than a lot of stuff with the Republic Senate. They're so libertarian, man, it's sick. Nice. Rogan muses. Oh yeah, man, I'm definitely going to invest in some holo crypto when they have their own state. Their regulations are so much less than the Republic, man. Sandhill's banking clan is cool and all, but I kind of love the freedom of just that decentralized system, you know? Elon continues. Yeah, totally, Rogan replies. I totally feel ya. I want to throw some credits into the market too. I hear there's this really cool new project that's coming out called Banthecoin that I'm really interested in. Rogan says as he huffs another massing helping of spice smoke. Elon nods sagely, taking the joint from Rogan. Oh yeah, totally. We're sending that to the moon as soon as this war's over, he says. The Confederacy is actually so nice, man. I'm so stoked to see them secede. This interview sends shockwaves through the galaxy. Many within both factions are appalled that such liberal use of drugs is encouraged by a known Confederacy advocate and businessman. However, there are also plenty who are in favor of the regulated approach that Musk discussed on the interview, as they believe it would give crime syndicates less power over the population. However, the media stunt works nonetheless, and the galaxy is talking. That's all that the Count had wanted. After all, according to the old adage, all press is good press. In his private time, though, Elon supervises the construction of the Cyberstar. He continues to funnel money towards the project from the Separatist war chest, and Sandhill starts to take notice. The Munes are immaculate record keepers, and Elon wouldn't be able to get away with his shenanigans for long. He's especially suspicious given his recent meeting with the eccentric CEO, so he'll inform Dooku of what's going on with their war chest. "My lord, we have a problem," San tells Dooku via hologram. "The separatist war coffers are being used to siphon money. Someone has access who shouldn't." Dooku frowns. "That is indeed very concerning. I shall convene the corporate council at once. Perhaps they will have answers to our questions." San pauses for a moment. Dooku looks at him, curious. "Is something the matter, banker?" he asks. "Count, I have an aching suspicion in my gut. When I was meeting recently with Mr. Musk, I left my datapad on the table in a foolish move before dealing with a momentary business requirement that needed immediate attention. When I returned, the pad was slightly to the right, although the man denied it. I believe that he stole the codes," Hill reveals. Dooku frowns, stroking his beard. "All will be revealed in due time," he says. "This is greatly concerning. Thank you for informing me, San." The Mew nods. "Of course, my count." When Elon gets the call from Dooku to go to Utapau for a meeting of the council, he feels his gut drop. He's able to figure out why the meeting was called immediately, and he thinks that they might have figured out that he dipped too far into the separatist war chest for his own good. However, he sees the progress of his Cyberstar developing daily, and he knows that he's been putting it to good work. Knowing that Dooku's a Force user, he seeks to minimize the impact of his powers and level the playing field between the two, should the need arise for Elon to defend himself. So, Musk researches ways to counter Force abilities for the common folk. He ends up finding a strange breed of salamander found in the Outer Rim called the Islamari, and that they create a bubble around themselves which is immune to the Force. "Perfect," he says to himself. "That's exactly what I need." When Elon walks into the room with the Yislamar around his neck, everyone looks at him in shock. "What?" Elon remarks. "I found a new pet." He strokes the giant salamander, which appears to respond well to his touch. Dooku feels something strange as Elon saunters into the room, but doesn't know what it is. For some reason, his instincts aren't as sharp as normal. Viceroy Gunray speaks up first. "Yes, we all know," he pauses, considering his words carefully, "how eccentric you are, Elon. Your recent interview certainly brought a significant amount of attention to our cause." The wealthy CEO smirks. "What can I say? I know my way around the media." "Enough with this. Let us begin our meeting. We have pressing matters to attend to," Dooku says with a frown on his face. "Yes. Why have we been called here today?" Wat Tambor asks after fiddling with his pressure suit. "We've all been dying to know." Dooku takes a deep breath before beginning. "Someone in our midst is stealing funds from the war chest." There are audible gasps from across the room. "How could this be?" Newt Gunray exclaims, banging his hand on the table. "Those are our profits. Those are our funds." Cries of agitation break out among the council. Elon simply smiles, stroking his Yislamar, waiting for things to boil over. "Yes, that's exactly what I thought as well. Our movement requires funding, and we need to sustain it. When one person strives for personal gain, we all lose," Dooku continues. Immediately, San Hill points towards Elon. "I know that it was you. Don't deny it," the banker exclaims in a rare display of emotion. "You're the only one outside the banking clan who had access to those files at any time. You're the perpetrator, Musk." These accusations cause shock to penetrate the room. Elon simply smiles, stroking his pet. "Yep, you're right," he replies. "However, I think you're going to want to hear me out on this one." Immediately, Dooku raises his hand to fire Force lightning at Musk. However, he's surprised when his Force powers don't work. He tries again, looking at his hand and wondering what's going on. "You should have done your research, Count," Elon says. "My salamander may be here for more than just appearances." Immediately, Musk pulls out a small Westar 35 blaster pistol from his suit jacket that he'd purchased for an exorbitant amount from an old Mandalorian mercenary. Before the Dark Lord sees what's happening, Musk fires the blaster straight into Dooku's chest, and the Sith Lord collapses, his heart immediately torn apart by the plasma bolt. Elon stands up, blowing the smoke from his weapon. "Let me show you something that Dooku couldn't," he says. Musk dimmed the lights and displays to the Separatists a hologram of a live feed from one of his moon bases in the Outer Rim. There lies the key to his plan. A flashy battle station orbiting the moon. The Separatists are shocked. I took plans that were given to me by the Geonosis known as Poggo the Lesser and put my own little spin on them. What you see here before you is our key to defeating the Republic. I've built multiple of what I call Cyberstars, which are space stations that double as superweapons, which possess the capacity to destroy planets. Elon pauses, taking in the surprised reactions of his audience. The hard launch of this product line will be coming soon, as will our sovereignty from the Republic. No questions asked. Then, we'll get rich selling our weapons together. The Separatists in the room are pleasantly surprised. A chorus of cheers erupts from them, and Musk is pleased. So, in the end, I guess that I wasn't being selfish after all, he says smugly, looking in Sandhill's direction when he does so. What about Lord Sidious? How will he react to all of this? Newt Gunray inquires. Elon scoffs. Don't worry about him. I'll deal with that guy, he replies, stroking the Islamar. All of the pieces were falling into place. Soon, Elon would be able to take over the entire galaxy with his corporation. He would have nobody stopping him from monopolizing the entire tech industry, and he would be the one to profit. After this interaction, Elon addresses the Separatist Parliament and details what has transpired. With the corporate council, he agrees to keep everything hush-hush about Dooku's fate, and they decide to tell him that the face of their movement had unfortunately been killed in battle by Republic Jedi generals who had once been called his friends. We won't let him die in vain, though, Musk asserts to the crowd when they start expressing their anger with this. We're going to avenge Dooku, and we're going to continue his movement. I have just the plan. At that moment, Musk presses a button. One of his Cyberstars appears in the sky above Raxus Prime, and it's broadcast on a live transmission for the entire Separatist Parliament to see. We're going to use these super weapons, fabricated by SpaceX and Tesla, to secure our sovereignty. Soon, I'm going to hard launch these babies for the entire galaxy, and we'll see what the Republic thinks then. The Separatist Parliament applauds Elon, and they see him as the perfect successor to Dooku. With his massive HoloNet presence and immense wealth, he seemed like a good fit to champion their cause. His demonstration of the Cyberstars' power is broadcast for the entire galaxy to see. He shows how many superweapons he's built on the HoloX account, and he teases their release to the Republic, saying the more the merrier in a tweet. Palpatine sees this and he is absolutely in shock. So, he decides to go as Lord Sidious to confront Elon on his home base of Corellia. Meanwhile, Yularen begins coordinating a counter-assault to take out these cyber bases and to assert the Republic's dominance within the war. Soon, things were going to get hairy for Elon Musk, but he was ready to take on whatever was coming his way head-on to achieve whatever goal he sought to realize. He would remain one of the richest billionaires, no, trillionaires in the entire galaxy, and nothing would stop him. Before Elon has time to use his Cyberstars on any Republic systems, Yularen's fleet engulfs the sky of Corellia, and a battle ensues between his ships and Musk's drones. The battle is ferocious, as many Separatists are also on the planet fighting in the skies, hoping to derail Yularen's fleet. Ahsoka and Anakin zoom through the battles, zipping between droid fighters and blasting them out of the sky, being the fantastic pilots that both of them are. The troopers that Anakin commands in the skies obey his every order, and they shoot down so many Separatists and so many of Musk's personal drones. At first, it appears that Elon is winning. He looks up at the sky and is happy to see that his forces and the Separatists that are defending him are overwhelming Yularen's. However, that all begins to change as soon as Anakin realizes that there is a significant weakness with each of the Cyberstars. When him and Ahsoka approach the surface, they notice that it is just totally sleek. There's no noticeable weaknesses of the Cyberstar. However, as soon as they start firing at it, they realize that it's all just for show. The deflector shields are garbage, everything about the Cyberstar is complete trash, and their bolts impact each and every one that they hit heavily. So Ahsoka and Anakin order direct attacks of each of the Cyberstars from the Venators, which absolutely demolish the massive silver balls in the sky above Corellia. Once the Republic realizes this weakness, they capitalize on it, and they continue to smash the Cyberstars. This demoralizes Musk's forces, and many of the Separatist commanders present in the skies above. The Republic continues to beat them, destroying their ships and hammering their defenses that are in orbit of Corellia. Soon, the Separatists decide to retreat, knowing that this is a lost cause. Meanwhile, on the ground, as Elon watches all of this transpire, he senses a mysterious presence entering his room, and he instantly recognizes that bone-chilling sensation. Once again, it's Sidious. Elon realizes immediately that his Yslomari is in another room, and that he won't have the capacity to deal with him if he's a Force user. So, Musk begins to run, trying to get to that room with the Yslomari. However, before he can scramble away, Darth Sidious electrocutes Elon, and he says that he will spare him, but only if he gives up his foolish thirst for power. "I have a plan, Musk, and you are ruining it. I have a grand vision for the galaxy, and you are destroying what I believe in. No, I won't stand for that. I want you to fit into my plan, and I will not spare your life right now if you do not agree to join me and follow what I have to say. I will not kill you. I still have use for you, but that doesn't mean I won't hesitate to put you in line. Do you understand?" Elon looks back at Sidious, breathing heavily. His Yslomari was not with him, and now he saw the true power of the dark side. He looks into Sidious's eyes, and he can sense that something just isn't right. If Elon refused to adhere to Sidious' demands, he knows that he would be dead. So, Musk reaches out a hand once again, and shakes it with the Dark Lord, agreeing to fit into whatever plans he had for the galaxy. Anakin and Ahsoka continue to soar in the sky above Corellia, pleased that they had discovered the weaknesses with the Cyberstars, and that they were actually quite sucky weapons that were hastily made. This is a huge victory for the Republic, and it is a massive blow to the Separatist war movement. At the end of the day, Elon decides to surrender, as his forces are demolished in the sky, and the clones start to land on Corellia to attack his facility. And he's charged by the Republic for his actions. However, due to continued popular support for him from many workers and young citizens across the galaxy in both the Republic and Separatist Alliance alike, along with an excellent legal team, Musk ends up getting off for his crimes. He also might have bought off some of the judges, too, illustrating the true corruption that plagued the heart of the Republic. Palpatine may have had a few things to say for this wealthy businessman as well. He goes back to being a peculiar galactic trillionaire who has an obsession with memes, obscure HoloNet cryptocurrency, and space colonization. He still wants to beat the Trade Federation, but at the end of the day, he makes a deal with them, and they're able to colonize many worlds together. Viceroy Gunray and Elon Musk both profit immensely from this. The lack of efficiency of Elon's Cyberstars forces the Trade Federation to be incredibly, very embarrassed by what had happened. They're embarrassed of Musk's defamation of their military, which is now in shambles after he used so much money on his pet project, far more than he let on when he told the Separatists he was only taking a little bit from the war coffers. Other than Mina Bonteri, there's no successor to Dooku and Musk to keep the movement alive on a galactic level that could be the face to plaster everywhere. Mina also wants to negotiate with the Republic, especially after they commandeer the Death Stars and end up destroying these weird cyber things that Musk had constructed. The Separatists rejoin the Republic, which Palpatine continues to slowly morph into the Empire after negotiations between Mina Bonteri and Padme to end the war. The clones, the Cyberstars, which are now becoming the Death Stars, and the increasing military complex which Musk buys into for profit dominate the galaxy, and the influence of those who oppose Palpatine begins to diminish. People like the Jedi, Padme, and Duchess Satine are silenced under threat that the possibility of something like the Cyberstar, but even more extreme and more powerful, with the ability to actually destroy planets, could come up and wreck their homeworlds. While the Clone Wars come to an end, it comes at the cost of liberty for the people of the galaxy. And even though Elon was humiliated and many of his companies took a large hit following the war, he still manages to maintain his galactic fortune. And at the end of the day, Elon Musk remains one of the most powerful men in the entire galaxy. Hey there folks, now's the time where we transition into the Ask Me Anything period, where we answer questions given to us by members of our Discord server. If you're interested in having your question featured, or perhaps your what if video selected for a future video, please join. We have a growing community and it is absolutely spectacular to interact with each and every one of you. Our question today is from Lord Corridos, who asks, what got me into Star Wars and where did it start? Oh boy, this is a good story. I actually had a story about this on my TikTok when I had a Star Wars TikTok page, which I took down. You guys can probably find it still. I think it's Gungan Grand Army or something like that. I don't post on there. I'm more busy with Bantha Stew nowadays. But what got me into Star Wars? I remember this day so distinctly. I was riding my bike down a hill, and I was 6 years old, coming back from a festival in town called Kites Over Collingwood. It was literally just, I think it was Labor Day weekend or end of August. We flew kites around and there were a lot of stands, pancakes, local politicians, whatever. People were there having a good time, and it was a fun time to get out with the family. So my family and I rode our bikes over. It was a quick ride, and then we rode back, but I had to cross a bridge to get back home. And I was going too fast on my little bike. I didn't have handlebar brakes at the time, just back pedal brakes. And so I was backpedaling, but I was going too fast, and I fell off my bike and got a massive scratch all over my face. And it was not a fun time. I think I cried a little bit. Then I went home, got that all iced up, felt a little better, and lo and behold, the Star Wars The Clone Wars original movie was on TV. Not the show that had the miniseries before Revenge of the Sith, but the movie. The first 3D animated movie. And I watched, I was 6 years old, I fell in love. And I realized that we had a lot of the live action movies at home for our DVD player. So I asked my parents, hey, am I allowed to watch this? I just stared at the covers because I thought they were so cool and so interesting looking, especially for the prequels. I was like, hey mom and dad, can we watch these movies? And eventually they finally caved. My mom was a little apprehensive because I was only 6 years old and it was a little violent, fair. But they watched it with me, and I was just absolutely in love. That's where my Star Wars love started, when I watched The Phantom Menace at 6 years old, and it's just gotten crazier from there. I have so many spectacular Star Wars stories, and being able to be on the team for Bantha Stew has just been the adventure of a lifetime. I'm so grateful for it, and I'm so happy that I get to be a leader in this community that I've loved for years, and that I get to live out one of my dreams right now. It's just incredible. It amazes me every single day. Thank you guys so much for watching this video as well. I hope that you enjoyed, and if you did, I would love for you to leave a comment about your first experience with Star Wars and what got you into the franchise. How were you invigorated with this same passion that I am and so many other fans across the world have been? Please comment them below. I would love to read your stories. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope that you really enjoyed it. Would you like to see a part 2 of this video? If so, what do you think would happen in a part 2? I would love to hear what you have to think, as always, and I hope that you have an absolutely bantha-tacular rest of your day. Finally, my Star Wars friends, I hope that each and every one of you have gotten your daily delicious dose of Bantha Stew. Like always.